Welcome back to another episode of Day1Radio right here on Live Hip Hop Daily. We appreciate y'all watching us here, listening to us via the podcast on CLNS Media. What's going on, bro?
So everything going on, man. Pretty good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, man. It's been a crazy week, man. Shout out to all our folks that was down in Austin, the South by Southwest. I know that had to be a little scary.
Man, it's like I was at the barbershop this morning. And, you know, in case y'all don't know where we're going with this, there have been multiple bombings in Austin, Texas. And, you know, I can't say that it's not getting national news coverage because I did see it on headline news. I mean, I know that's not, you know, Rachel Maddow primetime, but it was on headline news at least. But there have been multiple bombings throughout Austin, Texas, mail bombs that are killing people. And they have all been black folks. And it's like, God damn, we can't even open our mail now, bro.
There was one, I don't know if she was a Latin or Hispanic lady who died from a bomb, but the bomb wasn't even addressed to her or to that house. It was supposed to go 2 doors down, which was to a black family. But it's like the FBI and the local authorities are apprehensive about saying that this is a hate crime, saying this is domestic terrorism, saying any of that, and it's a little wild to me. Like, cause if it's the other way around, then immediately, you know, they gonna put it on some Muslims, or they gonna put it on, or they gonna put it on the white boy and say it was a mental health issue. But now all of a sudden you can't find no suspects, and this whoever was doing it or the people that were doing it. It wasn't like some of these packages went through the mail. They were walking the packages up to the crib. So as many people got, you know, what's the Ring, you know, the cameras outside the crib. You can see it on your cell phone, all of that. We live in a police state. We live in a surveillance state. You can't tell me that ain't nobody seeing nothing. Like,
and that's the question I have. But later on, I definitely want to make sure we shout out these names. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So, you know, but that was my question. Like, so, like, I'm hearing all these bombings, and then, you know, you had the one that exploded at the FedEx facility today in San Antonio. I'm like, so, like, how are these packages getting there? Is it going through FedEx? Is it going through UPS?
Well, I know 2 of them were walked up. One of them was a trip. Like, they set up some kind of trip situation that somebody got hit on a bicycle. And then the FedEx is like, dog, if you're delivering something through FedEx, you're dropping it off at a FedEx box, which most of the boxes are in business development, so there are millions of cameras, and you're dropping stuff off at a FedEx Kinko's, so there are hella cameras. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
This
like,
should be easy to trace.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 2 things I was concerned about was, like, one, just from personal safety, is like, I was wondering, like, what these boxes were looking like. Because I know, granted, like, I'm not, you know, on no fearful stuff right now, but if a strange box showed up on my doorstep, I would not be quick to open it. Like, granted, like, I get a lot of special packages, but it's like, if it's not a package that I'm expecting, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm like, well, hold on, I didn't order anything, or, okay, I'm not expecting anything. Like, what is this thing at my door? I'm probably not going to open it. So I'm wondering, like, just how these packages are actually being presented to where somebody feels, okay, cool, I'm going to open this box that just showed up at my doorstep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like, you know, Austin is not like a bad area. Like, people probably just thinking like, oh, maybe this went to the wrong person. Or let me look at the address and see, maybe it was supposed to go to my neighbor. Or people order stuff from Amazon all the time and forget they ordered it. So maybe they thought that's what it was. So,
like, have they revealed whether the boxes are being opened and they going off, or is this a thing where it's like it's timed?
To my knowledge, they haven't said a whole lot, as far as I know. But it's definitely, from like doing a little bit of research, they seem to be targeting. I don't want to say affluent because I don't know their financial situation, but they seem to be targeting well-known black families in Austin. And if you've ever been to Austin before, you can walk around all day and not see nobody black. So this is very much our mutual homeboy CJ. Last time I kicked it with him in Austin, he was like, dude, I see black people at concerts and church at the end of the day. So it's not a heavily populated black city. So that means that this was really targeted. So I think a lot of people have seen the kid Draylon Mason, who was 17 years old, who played in the youth orchestra in Austin, as well as played in a couple other bands. And I know he had already got accepted to college, a music program at University of Texas. So that's a major loss. And then you had the teen's grandfather, Norman Mason. He was a big dentist in East Austin. And I think East Austin has some black neighborhoods, but they're connected to a guy named Freddie Dixon, who was the stepfather of another person killed by a bomb, Anthony House. And from what I understand, Freddie Dixon was the leader of the African American Cultural Heritage District and was also the pastor of one of the oldest black churches in the city. So these are people that are tied in to the community. I don't think this is just happenstance. Right. These are the people that happen to get hit. I think they was trying to get people in the crib in those houses.
And then there's also a note where it's out there that a bomb that hit the Latin woman, Hispanic, so we don't know which one, but that was meant for a black neighbor.
Yeah, 2 doors down, I believe, because it was witnesses. Now I don't know how they know, but it was witnesses that said that package wasn't even addressed to that house. So I don't know how that happens. I don't know what's going on. Make me not want to ever pick up no mail addressed to somebody else.
It's like, damn, we can't even open the mail, bruh.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. And it leaked over in the South by Southwest because the Root show got canceled because of a bomb threat. So it's crazy. Like, the last place in the world I would expect black people to be targeted is in supposedly liberal Austin, Texas.
Right. And let you know that whole term of liberal might just be the fallacy that, that so many people have claimed. Because, it's like, there's quote unquote liberals that sit on the sideline and just watch things develop and happen and be like, well, I have empathy for it. I wouldn't do anything like that.
But it ain't none of my business.
Right, but it ain't none of my business. And then you do have some people that are like, oh, okay, man, let me, get on the front lines with these people and actually prove that I am down for this cause. You know what I'm saying? So, man.
Yeah, it's a lot going on, man. I pray for those people out in Austin, and I hope the police and the FBI and all the law enforcement involved actually catch this person or people and do something about it. But the fact that they're saying that there are no suspects at this point make me think that it might be some inside job type stuff.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how is this stuff getting to the doorstep? You know what I'm saying? It's like, if there's one at FedEx exploding, it's like, granted, it's cameras. So, I know investigations are not, 1 hour jobs. You know what I'm saying?
But this has been going on for 3 weeks.
Right. It's been going on the entire month of March.
If there was anything else that was happening this consistently for 3 weeks, and then they're saying things that let you know that they know something, like the package that blew up in San Antonio at FedEx, they're saying was meant for Austin. Well, if you knew it was meant for Austin, Texas, then you can trace the package.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? FedEx got 1 million boxes at every distribution center. So how you know that particular box? I don't think you can still read barcodes and addresses after an explosive go off. Unless maybe this might be some new kind of dynamite. I don't know.
Right. Well, I did see on the news they said the person that got injured, they've already been treated and released. So that sounds like it wasn't a thing where it must have left behind some kind of evidence.
Right.
If if it didn't kill the person, they just said the person got treated and released. So
that's good, man. It's a lot going on, man. One of the other stories that crept up this week, we hadn't heard this man's name in a minute, Harvey Weinstein. We know a collective of women bought the company, the Harvey Weinstein Company.
Word?
Yeah, and that came out a couple weeks ago, but they filed for bankruptcy. The company filed for bankruptcy, which we know that's just a business tactic. But within that bankruptcy, all the non-disclosure agreements, which he's been hiding behind, became null and void. Ooh. So the story's finna start popping up left and right. Yeah. So it's finna go down.
Damn, this is decades and decades of stuff that's about to come out, man. Like the cloak on the industry about to really just be revealed, dog. Yeah. Man, I mean, not that it's like not stuff out there in the open already, but it's like, man,
I'm sure it was people that said what they felt they could say, but they didn't say everything quite yet. But they released a statement saying effective immediately, all those agreements end. The company releases any confidentiality provision to the extent it prevented individuals who suffered or witnessed any form of sexual misconduct by Harvey Weinstein from telling their stories. No one should be afraid to speak out or coerced to stay quiet. The company thanks the courageous individuals who have come forward. Your voices have inspired a movement for a change across the country and the world. Damn. So they like, we want to hear it.
That's a hell of a play. Buy the company, go bankrupt to tell the story.
Bruh. Gangster shit. I know he might as well just move to another country, bro.
Yeah.
He's toxic at this point. Ain't nobody trying to stand next to him.
At all.
And he's going to be dead broke because I don't know if a lot of these people already got paid off. Mm-hmm. But, I'm sure there's people who just suffered in silence too. And they going to come out and say something because if you ain't afraid no more, you like, hey, we need to get to it. If you ain't going to jail, I need some bread.
Yeah. Everybody about to say
suffer in some kind of way. So yeah, that's it's one of them things. I'm afraid to even ask you this because I already know the answer because your ass don't be watching nothing. Nothing. Have you seen The Chi yet? Have you seen any of the episodes at all?
I have not seen any of the episodes yet.
Okay, well, the season finale was this past Sunday. You ain't even got your mic over there, huh, Herb?
Nah, but see, I don't have Showtime, so
Oh, Herb, our producer, didn't see it either. Yeah. You seen it? Okay. You ain't even got the mic set up. I will talk to you. Man, so The Chi is a show based in Chicago, kind of about people's lives in Chicago. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who didn't see it. I don't know how the ratings are, so I don't know how great everything, how good or bad. But you have seen Masters of None, right?
Yes, I have seen Masters of None.
So
yes.
you know the black lady on Masters of None, Lena Waithe, who was Aziz Ansari's home girl on the show. She is the creator of The Chi.
Right.
So she's from Chicago.
Knew that.
Yeah. So, she won an Emmy. This is so interesting. Like, she got hot midway through the show being on. So she was talking to the Chicago Tribune, basically saying, like, I came in, yes, everybody thinks I'm the showrunner, so this is great or whatever, but there's some things that I didn't necessarily like. And because I was a newbie in the game, they kind of made things go a certain way. But as she got super hot during the show, because she won an Emmy and started getting all the prestige and stuff, and she got another show greenlit on TBS. Now they for the next season, there's another black lady who's coming on. What is her name? I wrote it down. Anna Floyd Davis, who people probably know from being behind the scenes on Empire, Fallen Skies, Hannibal, all that stuff. Who's going to be the showrunner, and I believe Lena Waithe is going to be writing a lot of the stuff for the second season. And she said it was going to be much blacker.
Yeah, that is the one criticism that I heard from people that were watching the show. I didn't hear anybody say the show was garbage, but there were people that were saying, this ain't the Chicago I know, or it ain't the Chicago I'm from, or Chicago that I visited. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I don't really have anything to judge it against. I haven't seen it for myself. But that was the one criticism that I did hear. People said the show was good, but there was a lot of things that were like just left to the imagination, not included, that are authentically a part of being in Chicago.
She wrote and was heavily behind the pilot. And from there, I think it was different people that wrote and directed episodes after the first one, but I think next season is gonna be super official because she hot. Like, you got an Emmy, you kind of just got to ride with. Like, she was even saying that people on the staff was scared to shoot on the South Side, and You know what I mean? And all of that type of stuff. But she was saying that, like, she was also very respectful of not just being over the top with, like, all the landmarks and all of that stuff. Because, and she didn't really say this, but you read between the lines. She was like, these blocks is how people get their bread and butter. Essentially, like, this is how motherfuckers be out here hustling.
It's the hot block.
So you don't want to, you don't want to stop nobody putting no money in their pocket because you want to shoot a TV show. So
right.
she's trying to
kind of remind me of I read something once where they were going in about like Martin Luther King's history here in Atlanta and how he had a relationship with street cats where they were like, look, bruh, we love what you doing with the protests and the marches and all that, but don't come on this street with it. We got your back everywhere else, but do not come on this street with that shit, because
you gotta respect.
You know what I'm saying? This is where we doing our thing at. Just
you gotta
keep it on that block. And he was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta respect.
Can I ask how was Commons acting? How was it?
Oh man.
You answered my question. Thank you.
Okay. I never want to disrespect Common because I really respect the brother and his talent. He's not a great actor. We all know that. At least the things that I've seen him in.
Wait. So you didn't like him in what's when he was in the assassin?
The Ace of
Smoking Aces.
Smoking Aces.
That might be like his best role
because he didn't do that much talking.
You have a point. He was kind of convincing. He played I don't know if he was an imam. I don't know if he was running the mosque, but he plays a Muslim brother at a mosque in Chicago. And it's just he be so serious.
Yeah, did you see that movie Love?
Everything.
He was in? You see that movie Love? Remember that movie Love, the one that was in Baltimore?
I don't know.
Wait.
Saw that.
I think I like that one. That's when he was with the little kid.
Yeah.
I did see that.
That was dope.
See that.
That was decent.
I can rock with
That was a kind of a disturbing ass movie though.
Oh yeah, that movie took some turns. I was like,
yeah. That was a disturbing movie. That was one I tried to put out of my head at some point. But yeah, he was okay. He wasn't in it a whole lot. He probably was in like maybe 4 or 5 episodes. Yeah, like 4 or 5. Huh? Yeah. He's definitely on behind the scenes. He's a decision maker on the show, as he should be, from Chicago or whatnot. But he was alright, man. Like I just really Common got to start turning down jobs at some point.
Hilarious.
Common, that dude is everywhere. He makes like dad rap now. Like,
I feel like he could have killed that role though.
hold on, you gotta talk into the mic, bro.
I feel like he could have killed the role
Yeah,
though.
you gotta introduce yourself. They don't know who you are.
Jay Black, man. Follow me at Innovative Black Station.
We didn't tell you to say all that, man.
Hey, what he got the jazz juice? He got the jazz juice acting crazy.
But what would you?
I think he really could have killed that role. Like seeing, I'm like, that's common. I feel like that could,
Right.
he would be a person that would kill a role like that. But he might just need to take more acting classes or something.
Maybe next season. Like I feel like everything's a monologue.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I need him to play off of the person he's on the screen with more. I thought the scenes between him and the brother, the older brother who killed the kid,
Yeah.
I thought they were decent, but it was so like out the gate intense.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah,
let's
'cause he
work, because I don't feel like two strangers are gonna interact like that off top.
Yeah, I felt like the older guy, his role was kind of pissing me off throughout it was kind of like dragged out in a sense.
But it was real.
It was, but
I think the kid, what's his name, Jason, the guy who played Eazy-E in Straight Outta Compton, he killed it.
oh yeah.
He's a great actor.
Let me ask you this: what's your prediction? I don't even want to give it away.
You don't want to ruin anything.
Well, I guess we can't really talk about
Spoiler alert.
What's your prediction?
If you haven't seen it, pause the podcast, pause Live Hip Hop Daily, and come back. But go ahead.
With what they took him in, and he basically in questioning
Oh, it's a wrap.
for the brother
Yeah, it's a wrap. He's gonna
Eazy-E?
be in jail.
for Eazy-E,
Oh no. Nah, with him.
even with the little boy.
Nah, with him, I don't think anything's gonna come back to them, per se. I think that he's gonna end up being partners with the dope boy. The dope boy is gonna invest in the truck. The Easy E cat,
Okay.
Jason. I think the dope boy is gonna invest in the food truck.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be partners in some kind of way. He not really gonna want to, but that's the game.
My thing too. I mean, I felt like the story, like the storyline was too connected. Do you get that in the sense? Like everything was connected.
Like Crash.
Yeah,
Remember the
like,
movie Crash?
Yeah, everything. That's one thing. When at the beginning I didn't like it. Even as it went along, like it was just, I don't know.
Yeah, but they all kind of lived in the same hood, so you could kind of see that. But I thought it was decent. I thought Common did okay. I'm definitely looking forward to season 2. If you guys haven't watched it, watch it, and then go to the Chicago Tribune. They recapped every episode, and from what Lena Waithe was saying, she really agreed with like a lot of their criticisms of the show. But she was like, next season, we got a lot more control. It's going to be way blacker. It's going to be way more authentic without being like super over the top. So I'm looking forward to season 2.
So speaking of shows about Emmys and cities, what do we think of Atlanta so far? We're three episodes in. What do you think
It's
of Atlanta
great,
so
man.
far?
Like you wasn't here when we discussed episode 1 and episode 2. But I like it, man. Like it's darker.
Yeah.
I think any art is not going to be the same the second time around. If you're really an artist, you're never going to want to do the same exact thing. I like that it's not super spelled out. I like that it's so authentic. And a lot of people that are from Atlanta or have lived here for a while say it's super authentic to the Atlanta experience. I think it's super authentic to the black experience because I was discussing this. I was at our homeboy Berto. He had a little house party. And we were all chopping it up, and I'm like, bro, this is one of the very few shows where you get the personal aspect, the human aspect of hood cats, square cats that are trying to be famous, gangsters, drug dealers, the dude that's fresh out that just made a mistake. Like, you get all of that, and it shows that these lives intertwine. It's not just put in a box. Like, you can be a thug or a dope boy, and your partner can be a square cat, and y'all can still kick it and do business together, and it is what it is.
Right, and I read Donald Glover's profile in the New Yorker recently.
I haven't read. Is that the one where he was talking about Jesus and stuff?
What's he talking about?
He said something about not wanting to be a savior or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's something like that. But like one thing that stuck out to me, he said, when he was like describing his character and how he was trying to sell FX on it, where he was just like Esquire's where he was talking about Jesus. I was talking about New Yorker. So like he was saying pretty much like when he was trying to show FX what he was doing, they were like who wins? Like people like to see a winner on TV. Your character is not winning. Like you know what I'm saying? And it's like Earn is a stupid character. Like he be doing some dumb shit. And it's like, and I feel like that's another way that show sticks out and remains successful because you're like really looking at this character like, damn, he just gonna keep doing
super stupid
stuff. Like he's not winning.
Right.
Like this man is broke, homeless, got 4 G's in an envelope. It has nothing to show for this.
Nothing.
Next episode, we don't know how much was the check. They never said how much the check was.
They didn't say.
But he goes to the strip club.
So he can stunt.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like after hearing him say that, we was like, look, I wasn't trying to create a character or characters that win. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just regular nigga shit.
That's literally what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Human shit.
That's really what it is. But no, I think the show is phenomenal, man. I think it's been great so far, for sure, most definitely. And speaking of stupid stuff, are y'all familiar with this rapper out of Toronto named Nav?
Can't say that.
I don't know him, but I heard what he said about the XXL thing.
Okay, well, we're going to take it back a little further than that. So this dude, he's a Punjabi Indian cat that grew up in an area called Toronto called Rexland, which I believe is a lot of Africans, a lot of Jamaicans, a lot of quote-unquote immigrants or whatnot. And he some years ago when he got on, because he signed to the Weeknd, and you know he got on through the whole Toronto Connects, Drake, yada yada yada. So he had songs where he was saying nigga. So I'm just confused how you go from saying nigga in songs and you ain't nowhere near black to coming out and saying because a white woman is the editor-in-chief of a magazine that she should not be in the position to pick the XXL freshman cover. Like, that's like entitlement on top of entitlement.
So his beef at the moment is what?
He came out. Hold on, let me pull this up. I don't want to misquote this nigga.
But you don't consider him black though? You don't consider him black?
Why would I consider somebody from India black?
You know what's funny with me coming from New York and we go to the stores and the Arab type of people just like him, look like him is there. We all in the same
Dude,
area.
I'm from the Bay. I grew up in a melting pot. And when I was coming up, I don't know if this is some new generational shit. When I went to school with Asians, Mexicans, white people, black people. You say nigga, you'd have got the shit slapped out of you off top. I don't give a fuck if you grew up in the bedroom next to me. If you ain't black.
But everybody could say it except white people.
Hell no.
Asians.
Hell no. All Asians don't fuck with black people.
Right, true.
You familiar with Latasha Harlins?
Hilarious. But true. But it comes on, it goes about what we grew up at. We grew up at.
I don't give a fuck. Period. If you are not black, I don't care. Put it to you like this.
Not even the Puerto Ricans.
Paul Wall, right. Puerto Ricans are black.
That's what so why he's not black?
Slave ships got dropped off in several of the Caribbean islands before they came to the United States. Ain't no slave ships went from Africa to India.
You're right. You right on that.
That's all I'm saying. Paul Wall is the blackest person I know who is not black, and I've never heard him say the word nigga, ever. So nobody has an excuse.
True. Eminem never said it either.
Yeah, he did. He said it on songs like super early.
Early.
But anyway, demo super early. And I've been knowing Paul Wall for 15 more years, well before he blew up. But anyway. Nav posted a picture of Vanessa Satin, and to be completely fair, V is not one of my favorite people in the world. He posted it on his Instagram, said, "This is who decides on who's on the XXL freshman list." Not completely true. "I refuse to wine and dine you and play you my new music before my fans. I will never show up for your list. No cap." Then he says, "To my fellow artists, we shouldn't look to a magazine for validation or to tell us if we hot or not, especially one that hasn't been credible for 10 years at XXL. Make music for yourself and your fans. I would never show up for the freshman list because I don't need their approval. I wouldn't show up for their freshman list. Fuck XXL. Your magazine is trash. Sorry. I mean website." So then he drops a song called Freshman List, and the name of his upcoming tour is Freshman List. It sounds like he wanted some attention, and it sounds like great marketing, if it lasts for more than 24 hours. My thing is, I'm not disagreeing with the majority of what he's saying, but why you so mad? If you don't want to be on the list, why you gotta say, fuck the list? I don't really understand that.
And my whole thing too, with outlashing like this, is like, granted, like, XXL has obviously seen better years.
This is true.
Better days. But for hip hop centered media to still be so niche and small compared to mainstream, I know we like to say that, hip hop is pop culture now. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's folks in the general population just like hurt certain people. They don't like hip hop as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
True. That's
they
real.
like the hot song on the radio. They ain't down for the culture.
That's
so
real.
It's like,
That's real.
when you still have a publication, and like I said, XXL has obviously seen better days, but when you still have publications out here that exist for the culture,
right,
quote unquote, I'm not down.
Who else
with,
is putting 21 Savage on the cover
right,
of a
like
magazine?
right. Like who else is giving representation
I agree.
like that? There's still people out here that are checking for XXL. Is it as many people as it was 10, 15 years ago? No. You know what I'm saying? Because there's different outlets, but like I'm not down for somebody just downing an entire publication because of something that they want that they did not get or whatever this messy situation is. Like, who are you to come out and speak so harshly on a publication that's been around since 1997? You know what I'm saying?
I think before that, shit, 96.
No, it came out in 97 because they had
Okay.
Master P and Jay-Z on the first cover.
Right.
I remember this because that's when I was still stealing magazines out of Kroger and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they had Goody Mob and D'Angelo on the second one.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I'm
Too
saying?
Short. Too Short was on the second or third cover.
Now, how was the music though?
His music, I've only heard a couple songs. It was okay. I mean, my thing is this, bro. Like, you are an outsider. Like, like XXL put a lot of people on. And granted, he says it hasn't been relevant in 10 years. That's well and fine. Like, I can speak on this. I helped select the first freshman list. So, like, I know, you know, where the foundation of all this shit.
When you say first, which first? The one that had Joel Ortiz in them, or the one that had like
I'm talking
Wale
about
and,
the
like,
first one.
like the first, so not the
now
leaders
we
of the
know
new
who to
cool
get
cover.
at.
Whatever it was, 2008, 2007.
With Papoose and all.
Exactly.
Papoose,
the
Saigon.
first one.
Yeah, the first one.
The
Leaders
first
of the new
one
cool.
with Crooked Eye, yada yada yada. The first one,
Boosie,
the original
Rich Boy,
one. Yes,
Jero.
the one that paved the way for all of this bullshit that we see on the covers now. So, but a lot of these artists now, you know, that's what people like to an extent. And also, this dude is 28, so like, of course, he's not gonna be feeling a 19, 20-year-old, you know, vibe rapper that just goes in and whatever. And that's fine, but bruh, like, I just don't understand. It just seemed like it came out of nowhere. It seemed like some personal shit that he put out on his social media, and that's doing a lot. And you burning a lot of bridges. Like, say what you will about V. I don't really fuck with V. We've had our beefs, and we've, I guess, gotten cool or cordial over the years. But bro, like, she's been there
the entire time, damn near.
Damn near. She went from intern by hook or by crook to editor-in-chief. So, bro, you burning a lot of bridges doing that. Like, I just thought it didn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm not saying he was right or is wrong. It seemed like out of pocket, and it didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me.
And it's like, I know old girl still catches a lot of flack for being a white woman at a magazine, but it's like, you know, I mean, that flack just always going to come with the territory if you're not black. But it's like, it's like I ain't caping for her, but it's like, damn, bro, like, really, like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
right,
for my, you know, because I used to write for XXL too, thanks to you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like, this woman was writing cover stories on Cash Money for XXL when nobody was like, let's put Cash Money on the cover. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
That's
mean,
real.
that kind of shit matters to me. It's like, damn, yo, you fought to get Juvie on the cover of, you know what I'm saying, a magazine. Birdman on the cover of a magazine. Hot Boys on the cover of, you know what I'm saying? Grant, I think Day1Radio wrote that one, but like, just still, like, you was in the mix to be like, no, we need to put this gold tooth country talking motherfucker on the cover of this magazine. Like,
right.
Shit like that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just come out, man, you ain't put me on the freshman list. You know, it's like
hilarious. But yo, I wanted to ask y'all, being that y'all were writers for XXL, why do you think she would get the position before a Day1?
Day1 was editor-in-chief before she was editor-in-chief.
But why would
that's a non on the air conversation.
but that goes to that semi goes to what he's saying as the white.
He has no idea.
I mean,
what the politics.
Cause I felt that way too. I be mad when I see it. Not mad, cause I love XXL. I love hip hop. Period. But when I see a white face as the fucking top person,
yeah.
But see,
I do have some type of.
We got Mech in the building. Look like he want to speak on something.
Yo, What up, everybody? Yo, I got a double XL freshman story. I've been dying to tell my whole entire life, and it's totally an off-air story. And when I'm listening to y'all, I'm just laughing in my ears, and I'm like, yo, I'll wait till I got a story for y'all. Cool.
You could have saved that till after the podcast.
To Herb's point.
He said he was gonna say it, but he got on the mic and decided he'll wait. That's cool.
But like to Herb's point, like I found, I would hear similar things when I was working at Ozone, which was founded by Julia Beverly, another white woman.
Right.
And it's like, I would hear it, but I'd be like, well, damn, man, aside from me working with this person, like, even if I was, like, I can't hate on what she's doing. I mean, this person is hopping in a truck, gassing that bitch up, driving from Atlanta to Houston to Memphis to Miami to cover this whole culture.
Yeah.
I ain't about to be like, oh man,
I will say this for Julia, and I feel like Julia has gotten a lot more humble and a lot more cool over the years. That Julia grinded. Can't nobody take that away from her.
And that's her magazine, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the difference.
Yeah, people can't really tell you not to run some shit you started, right?
Right. Okay. So Double XL didn't start with
not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
So that's
Not at
the
all.
point.
Not at all.
And to me, that's the reason why I believe hip hop is getting fucked up even more because, all executives and all that's who's signing some of these dudes is like.
It's always been that way though.
Right. And what's ill is I be trying to tell these dudes that it's all going in the circle. It's always been like that. We have to change it if we want to change it. Right.
And kind of piggybacking off of that, did you guys see the article that Puff that they wrote on Puff and GQ and how he revealed that him and Jay are working on an app for black-owned businesses? I kind of wish, I've met people over the years who have done stuff, and some of these apps kind of exist. I kind of wish they would have just invested into one of these existing joints and made it bigger.
Was it Shopify? Spendify.
Yeah, We Buy Black. I met a young lady. I had volunteered somewhere, and she was there in Atlanta. She had one as well. Then you have the Cash Mob ATL thing, which here is very big. So I wish they kind of, but then if you don't know, I think those two dudes are very insulated from what's going on a grassroots level. So they might not have known at all. But
nah, they know. Come on, there's websites that tell you all the black.
Yeah, but I mean,
so
bro, you're speaking from an example of a person that works. You're not speaking from an example of somebody who doesn't have to worry about where they buy nothing and probably ain't been in the store in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So it's different. You talking about a dude whose daughter, who's 5 or 6, just being 19 grand on a piece of art. You know what I'm saying? It's a different ball game.
True.
So what they're aware of and what's relevant to them and what we're aware of and what's relevant to us is night and day in a lot of instances.
I think now, in the time we live in, with social media, even when I seen people posting it, they were tagging these businesses okay.
Bro, do you really think Puff or Jay-Z runs their own social media?
Nah, but I'm sure those people can talk to them.
My dude, I ran social media for a dude who his wife is the heir to $1 billion industry for 6 years. This dude paid me every month for 6 years. We might have had 15 conversations over those 6 years.
Let me ask you this. So you mean to tell me nobody that Diddy's around is seeing these comments, know these
No, they probably are, but fam.
Even his friends, people that are celebrities.
They probably are, but I don't necessarily know if they're aware, and if they are aware, maybe they was this isn't being done right, so we want to do our own thing. There's kind of a different push, and I gotta agree with this. There's kind of a different push when, say, you have Live Hip Hop Daily, and say T.I. and Jermaine Dupri want to do a live thing and they come to you and they invest in you, that's going to be on the blogs for like a day. That's going to hit the business blogs. These hip-hop heavyweights invest in existing platform, yada, yada, yada. Then it's up to you to push the line on that. But if T.I. and Jermaine Dupri come out and do a press conference saying we're launching this brand new platform for live hip-hop, it's a completely different kind of eyes on it. It's a completely different vibe to it. And that's probably what it is at the end of the day. That's just my opinion. I'm not a billionaire. What the hell do I know?
Right. and it goes to the way, like, you know, things are presented. Like, every time Jay-Z invests and starts in something, it's usually Jay-Z starting this thing. Where, you know, Nas is like, he's investing in stuff that already exists, and that's not getting all the play until it's like, oh, that shit sold for $100 billion zillion, and guess who invested in it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the ways that it's presented to the public. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I don't think anything negative can come from it. I'm like, that's great. And I also feel like businesses that are black-owned businesses are way more likely to put their businesses and put their information on something that Jay and Puff are doing than something that, you know, John and Rick are doing that's on some grassroots type stuff. Or even if it has major backing and all, you know, we like to go for what's hot and what's shiny. Not that you could be a Billy. Look at most black people have no idea who Paul Judge is, especially in Atlanta, and he worked 5 miles from here. You know what I mean? So then, if you don't know who that is, Google it, look it up, put yourself up on game. So, again, we appreciate y'all listening. Before we leave, man, we started the Unpopular Opinions last week, so we're gonna keep this going as long as we have Unpopular Opinions. So I'll start. Everybody's been paying attention to this Tekashi 6ix9ine guy out of New York, who I will call a Hispanic but culturally white young man from Brooklyn, who has very questionable activities and does a lot of questionable things. And I understand people being upset. My unpopular opinion is stop responding publicly to his trolling. You're just making him bigger. Every time Game says something, Whack 100 says something, you know, somebody YG, well, he had the line in his song that people assume is about him. You're making him bigger. You're making him more popular. You're making more people look at his social media, making more people stream his songs. Like, dude, let this dude perish in silence. Like, please, it is what it is. Because he's talking crazy, and I don't want to say too much, but protection money only lasts so long at the end of the day. And it's ironic, like, we saw the fight at LAX that they put on TMZ and all kind of stuff. But there were other situations that I've seen with my own 2 eyes that happened to him that didn't make any kind of web or any kind of social media because the people that did it ain't trying to be famous. They was just like, fam, you out of pocket and you need to slow down. And that was that. Stop egging this dude on, man. Like, let him have his 15 minutes of fame, do what he gonna do, and get the hell out of here, man. There's a million guys that come in talking shit, trolling, fake Bloods, fake Crips. Like, how y'all mad at him for claiming blood, but you cool with Lil Wayne claiming blood? Like, I don't really understand that. Lil Wayne's not flagrant with it. This dude is flagrant with it, but you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But Chris Brown is cool with claiming blood. Like, my family is from Fruittown. I ain't never seen Chris Brown over there, ever. You know what I'm saying?
A round of applause for that. That's perfect. That was a good word.
What you got to say, Maury?
So I don't think I have any this week. I don't think I have any.
Come on, man. You can't leave me hanging. Something made you mad. Something this week.
Damn, I don't be getting mad. Oh, shit. I guess my thing right now would be like, man, stop assuming that people are hating on you or something like that. Sometimes folks really just don't be damn knowing what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of folks out there, they get mad. Oh man, that person ain't messing with me. These people ain't supporting me. These folks, like, a lot of people be having a lot going on, and sometimes people just don't damn know. so everybody can, do their best to like be a vessel for information. Like, stop assuming that everybody knows. It's like, matter of fact, case in point, somebody invited me to an event not too long ago, and let me backtrack. They had an event not too long ago. The next time I saw them, oh damn, why ain't you come to my shit? They're like, shit, you ain't invite me. Man, I put it on Instagram. I ain't on Instagram. Man, I put it on Twitter. My nigga, I ain't on Twitter either. Nigga, I made it on Facebook. Like, I don't be on there like that. You have my direct information.
Right.
Why didn't you just tell me what you were doing? Why assume that I don't rock with you because I wasn't there? My nigga, I did not know.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
real.
So, I don't know if that's unpopular opinion or not, but like, that's something that kind of bothers me. Like, my nigga, stop assuming that folks ain't rocking with you. Sometimes people just don't be damn knowing. People be having a lot going on, and my nigga, like, if you want somebody at something, directly invite them. If you just really want them to be there that bad.
Nah, that's super real. That's super real. So, on that note, man, we about to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all listening. Make sure you follow us on Day1Radio on all social media. That is DAY, the number 1 and radio. Make sure you also follow Hip Hop Trivia ATL on all your social media. And I don't know what day it's coming on, but we are going to be on an NPR show Here and Now. We're recording it tomorrow, but I don't know when they're going to air it. Talking about the Atlanta hip hop scene. So they have a segment called DJ Sessions. Last time we did it, it was pretty crazy. I know a whole lot of people listen to it. So make sure y'all keep an eye out for that. We will post it on social media, letting y'all know when it airs. And we'll see you next week. Peace.